Dear participants, this is the Web of Science tool. Similar to the Scopus tool, Web of Science is also providing the list of top class journals which are maintaining the standards. Those journals are indexed in Web of Science database. Web of Science database will show the articles which are published in top journals, top indexed journal, and Web of Science will show the author credentials, publication credentials, and Web of Science also provides the reference management. So all these things you will get from the Web of Science. So in the Web of Science basic page will be like this. If you have the subscription of Web of Science, you can sign in and you can access the Web of Science. Okay, our this program, this FDP is connected with the antennas, microwaves, and RF related. So that's why I would like to show some of the tips for selecting a particular topic and looking into the articles related to the RF, microwave, and antennas from Web of Science, and as well as other publication credentials, institute publication credentials, how to verify, how to analyze the results, those things I would like to show to you. Okay, so in the Web of Science core collection, if you see here, so the Web of Science core collection consisting of 6 databases actually. It consisting of ESCI, the first one, Emerging Sources Citation Index, and next Science Citation Index expanded, SCIE. Earlier we used to call those papers, some journals we call as SCI journals, but these days we are calling those journals as SCIE, Science Citation Index expanded. Some of the journals are included in the SCI list, that's why we are calling that as SCIE. And next category is the conference proceeding citation, and next books proceeding citation, and next social sciences, next humanities. Like different categories are there in the Web of Science, but in the Scopus you are not having those many categories. In Scopus all journals are listed under single umbrella, but in Web of Science different categories are there based on the what we call division. So here if you see, the Web of Science database will look like this. Here you can see 2 fields. Here the first one is the keyword. All fields, if you want to observe, just type the keyword here, or if you want to do a specific search, for example, if you want to do a specific topic related search, okay, you select the topic, you select the option topic and type the keyword here. For example, if you want to search for a particular topic, the topic is metamaterial. Okay, if anybody wants to search for a particular topic in Web of Science, they have to select the topic and type metamaterial, and after typing that, just click on search. Once you click on search, the metamaterial, with the term metamaterial, 24,768 articles are published already with metamaterial term. Okay, a dual band metamaterial with dual formulation characteristics. It has been published in one of the workshop. Okay, so another one published in micro and optical technology letters. Like that, so many articles you can see. So many articles are published with the term metamaterial. So who are working in the area of metamaterial, who wants to start their research in the metamaterial, those people can select. Those people can select. They can choose this particular option to find what are all the papers that are published under metamaterial. Under metamaterial. Okay. In that also classification also they can see. In the metamaterial review articles, suppose you are doing literature review, you want to see more review articles, you want to analyze more review articles, then you can select review articles. Such review articles, 456 articles are there in Web of Science database connected to metamaterial topic. And early access, some of the papers will publish early. That means their issue will not be announced. For example, your paper is accepted for publication. Its publication is pending in the month of December, for example. But before that, they will publish. They will that will go to the database. That paper will go to the Web of Science database. Such articles we call as early access. Such articles 146 are there under metamaterial topic. And open access articles, you know very well, these days journals are categorized into open access and subscription based. Two categories are there. Open access means you will pay the amount to the editor for publication of that particular article, and editor will place that article in the public domain. Public domain means if anybody wants to download the article, if anybody wants to read the article, complete article, they can download at free of cost. They don't require any subscription. They need not to go to the library. Okay, directly they can download that article. So such articles under open access, we have 7,600. These days, most of the people are publishing their articles under open access. If you publish articles under open access, your articles can be downloaded by several people. Several researchers will download your article and they will read and they will cite your article in their next article. Whenever they are publishing articles, they will cite your article. So that's why people are preferring open access. But another disadvantage is open access charges are very high. Some journals are having open access charges of $2,500, $3,000 also. So that is costing around 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, which is not at all possible for a normal employee or a faculty member or a scholar to publish articles by paying that huge amount. That's why most of the researchers will go for subscription based. Subscription based means while giving the proof of your article to the editor after accepting your article. So you will select subscription. If you select subscription based, then editor will take the copyright from you and editor will not place the entire article in the public domain. Whoever wants to download that article, editor will charge some amount from them and he will process like that. So those articles, those type of publication we call as subscription based publication. Okay, in that subscription based, you need not to pay single rupee. Okay, you will get your other copy. Apart from that, remaining rights will be with the editor. Okay, and with metamaterial name, in 2022, 2 articles are published. This early access. In 2021 also, some articles already published. That means which are scheduled in November, December, like year-wise statistics you can see, and articles also. So in this with metamaterial name, research articles 17,000, proceeding papers, conference proceedings. Proceeding papers means conference proceedings. 6,747 are there. Review articles 456, early access 146, editorial material 77. Like different categories are there, and whatever metamaterial keyword based papers that are published, those papers 9,203 papers comes under engineering and electronics and electronics. 7,500 comes under physics, applied physics. 7,000 comes under optics. 4,800 comes under material science. Like category wise also you can do the analysis. Suppose if you publish a particular article, that article belongs to engineering, electrical engineering or electronics engineering or physics or optics or materials or telecommunications, everything people can analyze. And others who has published more number of articles with metamaterials, that also you can see here. John X published 229 articles with the term metamaterial. So he is on top, like remaining page. Okay, number wise you can see. And affiliation, which institute has produced those papers? Chinese Academy of Sciences produced 742 articles. Southeast University, China, they have produced 531. Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, they produced 530. So like which institute has produced how many also you can see. And which journal has produced those articles, that also you can see. Optics Express published 1,053 articles with the term metamaterial. And spy proceedings, signal processing and image processing. This is a conference, well-known conference. Applied Physics Letters produced 790. IEEE Agnes and Propagation Society produced 580. Scientific Reports produced 548. And which publisher produced more articles in metamaterials? Obviously, it is IEEE. Next Elsevier, next Springer, next SOC, next American Institute of Physics. So like all things you can analyze, who are the editors, who are the authors, in which area they produce, what, which countries are publishing more number of articles in meta materials, in which languages they are published. Okay, so all those things. And under science citation, SCI index how many, conference proceedings how many, emerging sources citation how many, book citation how many, social sciences how many. Like all those things you can see analysis. Okay, so this is about a particular term, a particular word based search. Okay, now we will see the second option. Topic based search is over. Now you can do search with respect to the title. If you know title of any particular article which is already published, you can type the title. Okay, so I will type the title, vehicular antenna. I'm not giving the entire title, just giving the short title, vehicular antenna. With vehicular antenna, 192 articles are published. So this is one way of this is other way of search, and all the statistics you can see, which year, how many, which category, all those things you can see. Okay, and next search category is author category. Okay, author, which other publications you would like to see, just type that author name. Suppose for example, if I type my name, you can search. In Web of Science, how many they have, you can see. It is showing 77, but it is not 77 more than I have. I will show in another way, in another search. And you can search with respect to publication titles. Suppose some of them will get a doubt, so they will get a journal name, and they would like to verify that whether that journal is there in the Web of Science database or not. So for them, this option is useful. Publication title. Click publication title and give the a particular journal name. Okay. For example, if you want to verify a journal, microwave, already it is here. Micro and optical technology letters. If you type, you will get that. If you click micro and optical technology letters, yes, micro and optical technology letters is in Web of Science. Already 11,671 papers are already indexed in Web of Science, which are published in micro and optical technology letters. Okay, that statistics, all the statistics you get related to that. So topic, any topic you can choose, any topic, any journal, what is the statistics of that journal, everything you can check. You need not to go to anywhere. Suppose you went for a job, okay, job interview. So they will not look into your resume and all those. Simply they will ask your name or your ID, your Web of Science Research ID or your Scopus ID, and they will search, and whatever they are getting, they will get. Okay. And next, years published. Yeah, based on years also you can verify. And affiliation. So any institute, that institute, how it is progressing. Okay. So that analysis you can do. Just take affiliation. I am typing my institute only, Koneru Lakshmi Education Foundation, KLD University. If you click search, then 3055 articles are published till now under KL University. Okay, so how many review articles? 54. Early access 158. Open access 621. In 2021, already we published 507 articles in Web of Science. And articles, proceedings, all these categories you can see. And engineering, electrical, electronic, how many? Material science, how many? All these things you can see. And others wise also, who are on the top. My name is on top. This is the actual number 93 in Web of Science. Rao KS, Kotes Rao, Dr. Kotes Rao, Rao KS means Dr. Venkatratnam, Dr. Pispati, my earlier director, late Pispati garu. And next, Shravani KJ. I think this is not Kotes Rao, this is K. Srinivas Rao, sorry. Rao KS means K. Srinivas Rao. So, who are on the top, you can see. And in which area they are publishing, in which under which publisher they are publishing more articles, Yale University, all these things you can see. Okay, so and you can do the citation report analysis, all these things also you can see. If you click on citation report, you can see all the publications, how many citations are there, 8,986 citations. How many articles are cited, 8,986. How many citations we have, 11,909 citations. And H index of university is 39. And year wise, how many they are publishing, how many citations, all these things you can analyze. Okay, and which paper, how many citations, how many total number of citations, all these things you can. All these things. Okay, now this is the way to do search in the Web of Science database, Web of Science and documents. Other search also you can do, others. So if you type name, a particular other papers you will get. With my name, 2 accounts are there. In one account 94, in another account 1 paper is there. So I am merging those two. You can merge both the accounts. And now a particular other related, suppose you go to interview, this page will be downloaded. Your page will be downloaded. So what are the other names that you are having? Okay, all those things you can see. And this is the Web of Science researcher ID, this unique ID you have to carry. And if you give this ID, with respect to this ID, people will know what papers you have. And all the papers, whatever you have published. So all those papers you can see here. Okay, all those things you can see. So your metrics, everything, what is your H index, what is your number of papers, how many articles are cited, how many times cited. So all those things you can see. Okay, so this is about the Web of Science database. So this community who are attending this particular program, this community belongs to antennas, RF and microwave. So for you, the most useful thing is topic wise search. This is most useful to you. So take a particular topic and type that particular topic name, and you will get all the papers connected to that, and you can download those papers at free of cost if it is open access. You can read and you can do all the reference management related, all aspects you can do. For example, someone are working in microwave filters. If someone are working in the area of microwave filters, topic select microwave filters, click search. So 11,193 articles are published with microwave filter name. Okay, if you want to download a particular article, okay, so many articles are here. If you want to download a particular article, you can see here the lock is open. Okay, you can see this symbol. This symbol indicates that this paper you can directly download. So free full text from publisher you can download. But here lock is not open. That means this you cannot download. So this lock open means it is open access, you can download. Below that they will give free full text. Wherever lock is not there, lock opening kind of symbol is not there, they will write only full text at publisher. That means these papers you have to purchase. Okay, so if any open access paper is there, if you want to download that, you can download directly from the Web of Science also. Okay, just we have seen one paper here. Yeah, this is open access. Click free full text from publisher. If you click, immediately you move to that particular location, and from there you can directly download. I'm showing the live demo to you. Yeah, now you can see this is published in IEEE Photonics General, remote wideband microwave frequency measurement based on a single passband microwave photonic filter, published in 2012. This is the front page, first page, and you can see the article, IEEE Photonics General. So full article you can download directly from Web of Science database. Which article is open access, which is not open access, all those things you can identify. Okay, so a particular topic, if you want to search, this is the best way. Okay, and if you are interested in only articles, you are not having interest in conference papers, review papers, and all these things, then select that particular option, articles, and click refine. If you click refine, only the articles, general articles only you will get. If you are not interested in conference papers and other categories, then you can select that also. Okay, and if you are interested in only review articles, click on review articles. Not only that, you are interested in review articles of only 2020, that too, select that also. Okay, and the review articles which are published in 2020 and which are open access, you want to have that option also, then select that and click refine. Then only 17 articles which are published in 2020 and which are review articles and which are open access. That means all these articles text you can download directly. And all these articles are published in 2021, 2020. So if you want to do analysis, you can do complete analysis, you can do. Okay. If you want to do analyze results, same thing they will show in a different way. If you click analyze results, in the analyze results, you can see all the analysis. So engineering and electronics 7032. Physics applied these many, material science these many. So Web of Science categories, engineering, electrical and electronic, these many papers, this much percentage. 62% of papers are published in engineering, electrical and electronic engineering. Optics related 31%. Like percentage wise also analysis you can do. Okay, so if anybody wants to analyze your institute, what research your institute is doing, or if anybody wants to do analysis regarding your research, what research you are doing, how you are progressing, where you are publishing, in which area you are working, without asking you directly, they can take. Okay. For example, I will try for your institute. Full name on it is suppose if you want to analyze IIT Hyderabad, what IIT Hyderabad is doing, just select IIT Hyderabad, click search. IIT Hyderabad produced till now 5,180 articles. And if you want to do citation report of that Hyderabad, how IIT Hyderabad is progressing, you can see how many articles they have produced, how many citations they have, what is their H index. So all these things you can do analysis. Any institute analysis you can do. Okay. So with this, I'm closing the session of this Web of Science database. So now I will move to Antenna Magus 2. In the last class, I have shown one model to you and how to do the analysis. The Antenna Magus I have shown to you. Now I will show another models, different antenna models I have. So this horn I have shown, log periodic, planar inverted folded antenna, and this Vivaldi antenna. I will open the Vivaldi antenna now. So the Vivaldi antenna model has been taken from Antenna Magus. You can see here. If you want to export this, you can export. Okay. If you want to export to file or clipboard, anything is okay. Okay. If you want to have a closer look, I will go to sketches. In sketches, you can see. Okay. This is one flared element. This is another flared element. So one is on the top side, another one is on the ground side. Okay. So this is the ground, defected ground, and this is the flared element, one flared element, and this is the front side. Okay. So this is a Vivaldi antenna. You can see antipodal Vivaldi antenna, and the design, how is antipodal Vivaldi antenna has been designed. Okay. What is yi, what is y naught, all these formulas you can see here, and this width of the ground and height of this particular tilted flared element, and all these parameters you can see, and you can see the side view also. HS is the height of the substrate. Okay. So the sketches you can see. If you want to export this, you can export. Just if you click to file, it will ask where to export. So it will store that image as a bitmap or GIF or GIF image PNG. Otherwise, if you want to just export as clipboard, as to clipboard, it is copied. Now you can take Word document. So you can paste. Okay. And whatever image is there, directly you can copy and paste that. So two options are there. Here, any image you can copy and you can paste, and you can export in JPEG or PNG formats. And model preview, if you want to see the model preview, click model view. So 3D view, you can see the model. Okay. So this Z value, what is the size, what is this Y value, X. So all these things, the positions you can see where it is placed. Okay, X, Y, Z, all these things. This is okay, front side and back side, all those things you can see here. Okay, model, and you can see the information also. So information, how it is designed. Okay, so this antenna size is greater than lambda by 2, and this antenna is a unidirectional antenna. Okay, and what are the properties of this particular antenna? Polarization, linear in plane of the Vivaldi, and radiation pattern, end fire radiation pattern, and gain is 4 dBA, and minimum is 2, and maximum up to this. This we have set for 4 dBA. The maximum gain you can attain from this antenna 10 dBA. You can set here. The options are available. You can set the gain and all the parameters. You can change. And performance bandwidth 3:1 is taken, and maximum up to 6:1 we can take. And complexity medium, if you want to design this particular model, the complexity is medium complex. Just you have to design one flared element one side, another flared element on another side, and with defected ground. And impedance 100 ohms typical, and minimum is 50 ohms, maximum is 200 ohms, between it will vary. And Balan is not required for excitation. And how this particular antenna is designed, Vivaldi antenna, that write up you can see, and the physical description, how it is designed, what are all the formulas that are used for the design of this particular antenna, you can see, and what feeding method is used in this. Okay, transmission line type has been used in this. Operation mechanism, how the antipodal Vivaldi antenna will be operated, where it will be used, and the performance characteristics like impedance, how impedance is varying, real and imaginary, both things you can see with respect to the normalized frequency. At a particular frequency value, what is the impedance value you can see. And you can see S11 parameter of this. Okay, this is the minus 10 dB. This is the point. This is about 0.9. It is working. It is starting. It starts working from 0.9 gigahertz. and to entire band up to 4 gigahertz it is working, and I think it is more than also it is working. And you can see the radiation characteristics of this antenna. Then F minimum is at 2.5 and at 4 F minimum, the radiation characteristics, you can see the maximum gain, how much you got, and radiation pattern in E plane and H plane, how it is. Okay, in polar plot, you can see uh, at F minimum how much it is, at 2.5, at frequency 2.5 gigahertz, how it is, E plane and H plane. Okay, at 4 gigahertz, how the radiation pattern in E plane and H plane is, and gain, frequency versus gain, how it is varying, and references, and how to export this into CST and PICO, those design guidelines, everything they will give. So this is a complete guide kind of. So in other tools, you will not find this type of thing to you. So, and the value comparison also. Sorry. Yeah. So you can see here the value comparison. You can see. Okay, inner flare height how much is taken, outer flare how much taken, inner flare length, outer flare length, feed line length, feed line width, ground plane width, all the dimensions you can see. And those dimensions are fixed here. The minimum value, F minimum is 3.3, F maximum is 6.6. Between that range, we are going to see the analysis. And you can place the name, substrate, relative permittivity is 4.4. That means that the substrate is FR4 material. And the substrate thickness is 1.26 mm, and you can see other parameters. Okay, all the parameters, whatever inner flare height, outer flare height, so all those things, height of the inner taper, so all these dimensions you can see, these are fixed here. So if you want to change these dimensions, you can change, but you have to take a new tweak. First you have to estimate the performance of this, and next and X, Y, Z, H, HTA, HTO, all parameters, all dimensions you can see here. If you analyze this particular model, you can see the result. Okay. If you click estimate performance, you can see the performance characteristics of this particular antenna. It is already executed. That's why it will take last time. So all the results are loading here. You can see. Yeah, you can see here the result. Look at here, -10 from this point. Already I told that it is from 3.32, we set to up to 6.6, but other frequencies also taken. Reflection coefficient, you can see the impedance plot. Yeah, impedance plot you can see, and not only that, the radiation pattern plot you can see, total gain, left hand circular gain, right hand circular gain, horizontal gain, vertical gain, axial ratio, everything you can see. So you can see that in different ways also. Polar, you can see report wise, if you want to see what is the minimum gain value, what is the angle value at minimum gain you have obtained, maximum gain, at what angle you got the maximum gain, what is the average gain. Okay, so the what is the side lobe level. Okay, at first side lobe, what is the gain, all parameters you can see. So complete analysis you will get. Okay, while teaching, if you use this particular tool, so you can explain to the students very easily and they will understand this particular tool. And not only that, in other ways also you can see the gain parameter. In 2D gain also you can see, not only in polar coordinates, polar plot, not polar coordinates, polar plot. And yeah, you can see 2D. Okay, angle versus gain you can see. So whether you want to see in polar, whether you want to see it in 2D, or whether you want to see it in 3D. So anything you can take. Okay, so this is far field at 3.3, and similarly it is at 13.3 how it is, and at 3.3 how the radiation is 3D. You can see the maximum gain is 2.367 dBA. Okay, and you can see the direct to pattern here. Gain is 6.67. Sorry, 6.641. And at 13.3 gigahertz, the radiation you can see the maximum gain is 5.6. Okay, so all these basic parameters you can analyze. Once you take any model, you can simulate and you can analyze that particular model. Yeah, sorry. And if you want to export these results, options are available. If you want to export the data, export data is available to file as well as to clipboard. Export palette data to clipboard. If you select clipboard, you can export. Just look at here. Just look at here. Yeah, all parameters, objectives, everything, minimum, maximum, what is the name, each and every parameter you can export. Okay. And if you want to export the report, whatever report you have generated, that also you can do. So export report, click on export report. It will export your entire this whatever model I have designed, whatever model you have taken, that results, that analysis, the dimensions, everything it will export in the PPT. Okay. So Vivaldi and VA. You click save, it will be exported. So I will show that PPT also. So in other simulation tools, you don't have this kind of option. So once you design the model, once you analyze the model, once you simulate that, but once you simulate the model and once you analyze the model, after getting the results, if you want to take all those results and if you want to make a PPT, you want to give presentation on that particular model, whatever you have designed. So in other cases, the problem is you have to go and you have to cut, you have to with a snipping tool, and you will do all those kind of things. But here, without doing that directly, you can export that model. You can export. Okay, and not only exporting to PPT, you can export that model to other tools. I will show that also. Export mode. Another option is there. Export mode. You can export that to other. So if you want to go for CST Micro Studio or Pico, to which you want to export. Suppose you want to export to CST Micro Studio. Okay, select CST Micro Studio and click export model. If you click export model, just time being I am saying this, VA CST model I am saying, click save. Okay. Now if I want to open that model in CST, go to CST tool. Please have some patience, take some time, because I am not showing the already existed things. I'm showing the live demo, that's why it takes some time depending on competition. Okay, so CST Studio is there. Click open, and that model wherever you have placed that model, download it is there. Download, yeah, VA. Click open. You can export model directly to CST Micro Studio. From there, you can convert that model into step file, and you can export that into HFSS also. So that's why if you don't know how to design a model, a basic model, you don't know how to use a particular basic design, how to use the tool for basic design. If you don't know, don't worry. Take model from the Antenna Magus, simulate it, export it, and export that to CST or HFSS. Then you do the modification and do the analysis. The post-processing process and all those things you can do very easily. Okay, so now this is the CST environment. Hope some of you worked in the CST environment, and some of you at least know this environment. For some of them, it may be new. Yeah, it is going to open. Yeah, you can see this model is exported to CST. Okay. If you want to tilt this, if you want to see front side, back side, top side, bottom side, all those things you can see from CST MicroStream. Facility is loading. In antenna magnets, you will not get current distribution, you will not get electric field distribution, and you will not get magnetic field distribution. Those results you will not get. But in CST, once you export antenna magnets to CST, from here you can do that analysis. Now look at here, the front side. It will convert. It will show you the front side, back side, left side, right side, all the things you can see. Okay, if you go to components, you can see all the individual elements. Feed line, flared element 2, ground, substrate, top layer, help. So all the options you can. This is not simulated. Okay, you can simulate. If you click start simulation, it will start simulation. If you want to do time domain related, you can do time domain, take time domain solver, frequency domain solver, eigenmode, integral equation solver, asymptotic solver, and multi-layer solver. All options are available. If you want to do time domain solver, select time domain. Okay, and click setup solver. Then start simulation. Okay, so whatever analysis you want to do, you can do. Okay, this is CST environment. So this model can see once and the model, and I have to show another thing also, the PPT. I already told that you can export the entire thing into PPT also. I will see whether the PPT is arrived or not. The PPT is there. Now see the beauty of this particular tool. This tool not only help you in analyzing the result, it also gives I think it is not downloaded fully. Still it is in the exporting. think it was not downloaded till now. Still it is in the exported mode only. Yeah, it is going on. You can see here. This PPT export takes some time. So still it is exporting that model, and once it comes, yeah, over. Now you can see. Yeah. Now we got the PPT of Vivaldi antenna. Yeah, antenna Magus. You can see all the antipodal Vivaldi objects and parameters, sketches. You can see all parameters, whatever we have defined, whatever we have seen there, everything came to the PPT. So the elements, the top view and bottom view, side view, and 3D view, 3D front, right side, top side, all those. And next, minimum frequency, maximum frequency, substrate thickness, relative permittivity. And after that, all the parameters, height, length, width, epsilon, or all those. Dimensions X, Y, Z. Estimated performance characteristics. This is impedance chart. You can directly cut it and we can use reflection coefficient plot and VSWR plot. Input impedance Smith chart. So F minimum, gain total normalized in polar, left hand circular, gain normalized, polar, right hand circular, normalized in polar, horizontal, gain horizontal in polar, gain vertical, 2D, polar, axial ratio in IEEE format, axial ratio. Okay, so all the parameters you can see, gain total, normalized, you can see this result, gain, main lobe, side lobes, all these things, how good the results are. Okay, so total, normalized, LHC, all these, 2D polar, 2D polar, 2D polar. So all these things you can see. So many results. So many results. Okay, vertical, theta G, 0 degrees, 590 degrees. Let's look at here. How many results it has given to us? 80 results. Okay, different categories. So this is the advantage with this tool. So this is the way of taking a particular model and doing. So along with that, you have other options also in this tool. You can do array synthesis also. If you click array synthesis, you can convert your model into array. Okay, and you can convert your model into array, and array analysis also people. So generally people will do a lot of exercise for converting their model into array and doing analysis by applying different algorithms. So many things they will do. So array layout plus element pattern equal to synthesis inside the array you will get. Okay, new array you can take or duplicate you can take. Okay, synthesis environment. If you see synthesis environment, the orientation, if you take XY, XZ or YZ, which plane you are taking, you can decide. I'm taking XY plane. Okay, so offset how much you can set. Okay, minimum value how much, maximum value how much you can place here. Okay, and coming to this, the linear. Okay, so many rectangular, planar kind of things, circular, concentric circular ring, cylindrical, triangular, and other categories. Whatever category you will set up accordingly, it will provide. So the array, the element can be placed anywhere. Suppose we have designed Vivaldi antenna. If I want to place Vivaldi antenna like this, and my radiation should be like in this direction, so set up this. Suppose you want to place elements like this, and your direction should be like this. So your direction also you can set. If you want to place like this and direction like this, you can have. If you want to place like this, direction like this, which type you require. It is giving so many options to you. Or if you want to take a rectangular kind of array kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 36 elements. If you want to set up, you can set up. Okay. So a basic model I will show. For example, if you want to set up your model into this category, okay, click setup. If you want to click setup, it will ask create an array layout first. It will ask. Okay. So here array layout we have to create. Okay. So new array you can take or duplicate array. Offset I am applying 0 mm. Okay, for example. So add array to collection. So click. It is taking some time. That is the only problem. Distribution matrix you can import. That also you can do. Okay, choose array setup. Linear type, or planar type, or circular type, or concentric. Which type? Suppose if you select linear type. Next is specify. So broadside directivity or plus this side, or specific excitation, which side? End fire, which side you would like to have. So suppose you would like to have scan angle from broadside. If you select that, next you click setup. Next it will ask direction, main beam direction. So specify directivity, specify beamwidth. Specify directivity. Directivity I'm specifying something around 3.74. Okay, and here so minimum is -90. This is 0 degrees is there. Zero. Okay, apply. Now you see accordingly you will get the things. All these things are customized things. So people will scratch their head how much they have to place, how to do the analysis, how to create. Okay, they will do a lot of things. But now look at here. This is a linear array we have taken, magnitude. Okay, distribution matrix you can see. Okay. So with respect to theta, you can see isotropic array pattern. See the pattern, output pattern, how it is. Total gain you have seen. Left hand circular gain, right hand circular gain, horizontal gain. All parameters you can analyze. So for array antenna, once you convert into array, you will see only the radiation pattern only. Okay, remaining reflection coefficient, those parameters will not change for that. Okay, distribution matrix. And if you would like to see the table, you can see x direction, y, z. Okay, third element, how it is, which phase. Okay, so all these things you can see. So all the things you can see in a single window. Okay, so this kind of analysis you can do. So the radiation you can see. If you want to change this to other, you can change. Okay, n elements are 3 elements are taken. You can place n number of elements. Okay. if you want to have xz, if you apply xz, just look at the radiation. Now look at the see the radiation xz plane. If you take yz plane, look at the yz plane. So all analysis xy, yz, zx, all kind of things you can do. And we will take another. Okay. New array I am taking. This side I am selecting another type. So this takes more time. So I will take this kind of setup. Orientation in xy, and resetting linear, and identifier I'm selecting. Setup I have made. Array layout. Directivity I am specifying. Directivity this time as bandwidth. So bandwidth I am taking 3 dB bandwidth, 50. Beam width, sorry, not bandwidth, beam width. Directivity 10 dB. Now look at the elements. How the elements are placed, how many elements are placed. 12 elements are taken this time. And you can see the isotropic array pattern. Yeah, look at here. The radiation you can see here, how the radiation is. Okay. 3D radiation you can see. And you can see the 2D also. XY, YZ, ZX planes. It's taking some time. Yeah, look at the array radiation pattern for 12 elements total. And if you want to see in 2D, also you can see main lobes, side lobes, everything you can see. Yeah, look at here how it is distributed. And this is at 300 megahertz. At 300 megahertz, this is the radiation in polar. Similarly, in 2D, you can see. Yeah, you can see the distribution, how it is. In XY, YZ, ZX, in all three cases, you can see. Suppose this is in XY. If I change this to YZ, XZ. Sorry, I have not. Now I applied XZ. Now look at the 3D radiation pattern in XZ plane. Look at here. And in yz plane, you can see how the 3D radiation. Yeah, this is yz. Visual representation is very, very good in antenna matters. Visual presentation. You can tilt, you can round, and you can see which direction is having maximum radiation. Which side it is having gain or gain. So all those things you can do analysis. Array also you can do. Okay. So I will show other options also of Magus also to you. Just we have seen the array synthesis and okay, and this is the home, and you have libraries. So specifications, you can give the specifications. Whatever specification you would like to have, those specifications. Taking time. Wide variety of substrates you can select here. Am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yeah, thank you. So frequency bands, you can do all the selection. Frequency band, center frequency, minimum frequency, maximum frequency, percentage of bandwidth ratio, all these specifications you can give. You can design your custom model. Okay, someone come to you and ask you that I require antenna which should have gain of 10 dB and it should be the direction of pattern should be in this particular direction, beam width should be this. Like that, if someone gives some specification, you can design your antenna. So the specification library, this is specification library. Center frequency, if you want to fix, yes, you click and fix the center frequency. Okay, the minimum frequency, if you want to fix, yes, select. You set the minimum frequency. Okay. Yeah, center frequency. Once you click center frequency, it will ask the center frequency, what is the value. Okay, so you can have that value. Please excuse me, it is taking some time. While showing one option, while moving from one option to another option.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sir, gigahertz is also possible, sir, here.
Yeah, gigahertz. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Gigahertz or terahertz?
Sorry, terahertz, sir. Terahertz, sir.
Terahertz is also possible. You can give the specify the band. You can specify the band.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Because these days people are doing terahertz metamaterials, FSS, optical devices, so many things people are doing.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we assign different materials for this for any antenna in the software, sir?
Yeah, you can assign. That option is also available. Material library is there. Suppose your antenna is a multi-layer. One layer you want to have FR4, another layer Archiduride, and another layer something. You can have that.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Already some models already given for our easiness. Apart from that, if you want to create a new model, that you can do from this specification library. It is taking time.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can explain this. You can see all options are available. You can see here frequency. You can select the radiation pattern, port impedance, materials and physical properties, spatial limitations, feed pattern, and all these things you can set for your custom antenna.
So thank you.
Okay. So it is taking time. Okay. So I will close this. Just wait for 1 minute. It is again here. It is going to be connected. In between, any specific doubts if you have, you can ask.
Sir, in the post processing, excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
So in the post processing, how can we insert legends, sir, for for the multiple iterations?
Yeah. It is actually in CST when you place multiple. For example, you are doing a parametric analysis. Suppose width of
Yes.
the feed you are changing. Width of the
Yes,
feed
sir.
you kept 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm like that. So 4 different values you want to check. In that case, CST Studio or directly it takes. The better thing is don't go with CST or HFSS result whatever tools are giving. You try to export. You convert that into CSV file. The result you convert into CSV file and export that to Origin Pro. Origin Pro is one of the good tool where you can draw all these results. If you want, if anybody are interested, I will show one demo to you how to export that into Origin Pro and how to get high quality images.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I will open one CST model and I will show that how to do it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. The only problem is tools takes a lot of time to open and to execute time because I'm showing live. That's why this delay is happening. Correct, wrong, correct. So now I am going to show how to export the result that you are getting in CST or in HFSS, how to export that into a high quality image representation tool. Most of the people, researchers, will use Origin Pro tool, Origin. That tool is very useful to the people to export their models, their results, and to show two-dimensional and three-dimensional results. That is one of the best tools we have. Otherwise, I will import directly. So this is the Origin Pro. Origin Pro will look like this. It consisting of X and Y axis. You can increase number of columns. Okay, I will import once it is ready. Yeah, it is ready. So this is one model, a notch band antenna model. You can see two notches are there. So this antenna is having two notches and remaining band it is working. So if you want to export this particular result, okay, so
This conference will now be recorded.
Madhu sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Madhav sir.
Both
This
and
conference will now be recorded.
select the option comma delimited CSV. Okay, comma separated value actually. Select
Sorry,
that.
sir, to interrupt, but are you sharing the screen, because that is not moving? It is still hanged on the main screen of Origin Pro.
Okay, 1 minute. So I will refresh it. Now it is okay.
Yes, sir. Now we can see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once you go to the Origin Pro, this tool, to import the result, whatever you have generated from CST or HFSS, for that first you go to File and next go to Import option, and in the import you can select ASCII file as well as CSV. So I'm selecting CSV. I'm taking S11. Already I have downloaded that result in Excel file. So S11, add file, click OK. Once you click OK, that frequency and S11 parameter will come to the Origin Pro. So in one column frequency, another column S11. Then what you have to do is select the entire select the columns, 2 columns, and here in the Origin Pro you will get so many options to draw the curves, different results. Okay, for example, if you want to draw a normal frequency versus reflection coefficient curve, click here. Okay, line option, if you click, you will get the result. That S11 value you can see. Okay, this is frequency, this is S11. So similar to Excel, in Excel also you will do the same thing. In Excel also you can plot, but Origin Pro is more flexible than Excel, and you can do a lot of modifications in the Origin Pro. So this is the curve. Once you got, if you want to make it better, select the curve and take whatever color you want and whatever size you want. Okay, so for better visibility you change it, and x-axis value if you want to change, double click and type here frequency in gigahertz. Okay, and y value you can change this S11 dB, and if you want to make that as a thick line, select it and click bold. Okay, and if you want to if you are having the other result also, for example this is only S11. If you want to keep the legend, double click and here just type S11. If you click apply, you will get that legend, you will get. Otherwise, if you want to keep your own setup, then delete this. Text option is available. Select text, click here and write S11 simulated. If you have measured result also, import that result and place S11 measured. Wherever you want to place the legend, you can place, you can move. It is very easy, and whatever color you want, whatever style you want. Okay, if you want lines, you can select. Okay, so all these things you can do. All these things you can do. Suppose if you want to add some more, or a double y-axis if you want to draw. If you want to take another y-axis, then right click, add new column, take another y-axis column. If you want to plot both S11 as well as VSWR, both things if you want to plot, then frequency column is same. Select the VSWR That I will say. So copy, and here you simply paste it. Okay, so now frequency is there. One y-axis is S1, another y-axis is VSWR. Select this. Here you have the option of drawing double Y. You have so many options here. Triple Y is there, 4Y is there, stacked elements, waterfall kind of 3D model, vertical, 4 plane, 3 plane, color graphs, area, scattering, fill area, polar plots, Smith charts, everything you can plot. So for this case, I am taking double Y. If you click double Y, you will get double y-axis plot. Just look at here. This is frequency in gigahertz, and this side I will take this as S11, and this side I take this as VSW. Okay, this black color is the reflection coefficient. This red color is the VSWR. If you want to change this, you can change. You can change. Double click. If you double click, the size you can change. Size I'm changing to 3. Okay, line style also I can change. The straight line, solid line. So width of 2 mm I am taking. Okay, you can change this line. You can see, and this also I can change. Double click. So line 2. This size I am changing. The line width you can change. Not only that, if you want to draw a line, yeah, please. Yes, sir.
Sir, hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
I'm able to hear. Sir.
Without using the Origin Pro, can we? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, without using the Origin Pro, can we draw directly in CST? Is it possible, sir? For the multiple
CST?
waves, multiple iterations.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, sir. In CST.
In CST also, first you take the result, export that result to S11, and again call the import that. Import, export and import option. In YouTube, simply type exporting and importing, exporting and importing figure plots in CST or in HFSS. Like you type 5 minutes video, you will get. By looking that, you can do this. Sir. And here also you can make a line. Okay, so reflection coefficient line is this. You can make a line here, and VSWR is 2. So this scale is minimum value. The gap is 10. If you want to change the scaling, you can change. Double click on this. Double click in the scale. You can have a maximum 5 to. If you take only 10, then it is better. Okay, scale is changed. Okay. If you want to change further, you can change. Everything you can do in this, and plots you can generate in a beautiful way, attracting way. Then your papers will be accepted. Otherwise, yeah, look at here. So if you want to draw, suppose for example, this you consider as 5, this is 2, then you can draw another line here at this point. This you can keep color. Right? Some thickness. Okay. This is black. This is for reflection coefficient. Minus 10 dB is the reference line. For VSWR, 2 is the reference line. You can draw like this. Okay. Not only that, you can specify the range also. Suppose antenna is working from this band to this band. If you want to specify this particular range, what you can do is you can take a rectangle and you can place a rectangle up to this point wherever it is working. Okay, and double click, made this transparent, 75% transparency I am placing, and I am giving one color to that. Now you can see the transparency. This is shaded portion. The shaded portion you can see. If you want more, putting 50% transparency. Now you can see. You can clearly indicate that this portion antenna is operating, and you can place the with the text. You can place what is the operating range. Suppose it is from 2.6 gigahertz to some 11.8 gigahertz. You can write. So while giving your result, while presenting your results, if you are using Origin Pro, you can do a lot of things. If you present like this, it is very good. So in which band it is working, what is the frequency range, if you want to write something, and suppose if you want to circle something, suppose you want to highlight this particular portion, this peak, you can take that, double click, and you can change, you can fill none, if you fill none, and border color if you can make black, and width if you place 2 and click apply. Now you can see that is circled. Okay, if you want this as dotted line, you can make it a dot. You can see that. So a particular portion you can mark, and you can write something, analysis, whatever analysis you have done for this particular portion you can do. So like this, so many options are available in Origin Pro. Not only electromagnetic tools, you have to explore to other tools like Origin Pro, and with Excel also you can do some up to some, and GenPlot, another tool is there. Like so many plots are there. So whatever software is giving, that will not give better result, the better pictorial representation. So you can export results to other tools and you can do the analysis. Okay, so this is the way of doing. So with this, today I am closing my session. Once again, I thank the management of the Pasmi Institute of Technology, and special thanks to Ashwini Madam, who called me and asked me to give this presentation in this Atal FTP. So thank you to all.
Sir, thank you for your nice presentation. I think the participants of this session really got some knowledge about antenna to Nagus. So once again, would like to thank you.